Alright guys, welcome back to the Soulburner 876 channel. We are here to go through the first place deck list. It's Carlton and Stewart's first place Tenyi Swordsoul deck. Most Jamaican Yu-Gi-Oh players will know him as Little Piggy, but just want to go through his deck list, go through some of his choices and such. I wanted to do like a little interview with him, but he wasn't available at the time for it. But just for now, we have the deck profile to go through. So without further ado, just going to go through that. He ran 3 Vishuddha, and I think this is 3 Ashuna. These are the 2 level 7s. So I know that Vishuddha is removal, because once you control a non-effect monster on the board, you can banish it from the grave to bounce 1 card on the field back to the owner's hand. I think it says opponent specifically. We can check that. If you control no effect monsters, you can target 1 card, your opponent controls, or return it to the hand. And then Ashuna, I think, is the one that banishes the special. If you control no monsters, if you control a face-up non-effect monster, you can banish this card, special summon 1 Tenyi from the deck, And then he played 2 Adhara, because Adhara is the one that gets you the cards you banish back that you want to use. Right, you can banish this, target one of your banished worms. So this doesn't only go back for your Tenyi monsters. This goes back for any one of your banished worms that you have and want to recur. So he played 2 of that. He played the 1 water one, that's Shathana. In most recent times, I've seen a lot of lists collect this card, but he ran it and it seemed to have did well for him. It says you can special summon this card. If you control no effect monsters, you can special summon this card. All of them say that, but this one's other effect says if a face-up non-effect monster you control is destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your hand or graveyard, then target one of those destroyed monsters. Special summon it, then you can destroy 1 monster your opponent controls. So this is only if they destroy a non-effect monster by card effect or by battle. Anything else is fair game to this. But because this deck produces tokens and all of that, unlike the Tenyi Link monster, so I mean it does have its applications. That's going to be it for all the Tenyi monsters. He played 3 Virtuous Ecclesia. This is the one that you can special for free from your hand. If your opponent controls more monsters, then you get to special out a worm. Well, a Swordsoul or a Fallen of Albais, but obviously we don't play Albais in this deck. So he uses this to tutor out the Swordsouls that he wants, and then continues from there. And then we play, of course, the 3 Longyan. This is the one that allows you to burn. So I'm guessing this allows you to win a lot of games in time based on how the game progresses and all of that. So we run 3 of this, and it allows us to call our Baron or any of our big synchros. Sorry about that, guys. When you use it for a synchro, you can burn your opponent for like 1200 damage. Then he ran 3 Moye. If this card is normal or special, you reveal a Swordsoul card or a worm. The entire deck is worm, besides the 3 Ghost Tokers, which I can tell you guys was definitely his MVP. I will go as far as to say, quote unquote, it put in work like a Mexican. Those are his words, not mine. You run 3 of that because when it sees a synchro material, you can draw a card. So it helps to chain block the synchro when you make it. And then he ran 2 Taya. This is the one where if it is normal or special, well, no, you can simply just banish a Swordsoul card or a worm monster from your grave and special summon the token. If it's sent to the graveyard as a synchro material, you can send one Swordsoul card or one worm monster from your deck to your graveyard. So this can be used to tutor out any of the Tenyi monsters that you want to use the effect of to like probably extend or just to get something off the board. So yeah, this helps in doing that. And then the 3 Ghost Ogres. I got them in the exact same art that he had them. Yeah, this card put in a lot of work for him. And he ran 3 Forbidden Droplet. Shout out to Kareem Booth. He loaned him the 3rd because he only had 2. Then he played 3 Emergence. So this allows you to add a Swordsoul monster from your deck to your hand. And if you control a synchro monster, you can simply add a worm instead, so any other worm. If this card is banished, you can target one Swordsoul monster or worm monster you control, increase or decrease its level by 1 until the end of this turn. So I guess this helps you like to control what synchros you want to play, or if you want to just play around with your levels to make a certain synchro, this can help you. Because one of the synchros, I think it banishes cards, Swordsoul cards to negate, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll get to that in a bit. Then he played 2 talents. My apologies. Yeah, he played 2 talents. We're going back to that. I don't like doing this thing on phone, but it's what I got for now. 2 tactic talents. 2 Italis for the Ghost Ogres. Those are the literal only targets. He played 2 of this card, the Vessel for the Dragon Cycle. It allows you to send 1 worm monster from your deck to your graveyard, and then if you control a face-up non-effect monster, you can add from your deck to your hand 1 Tenyi monster with a different name from the monster sent to the grave. So you special, you link off, you send the other one that you want to use the effect in the grave of, and then you add the one that you want to special, and then you can special it from there, and then you can continue making plays. With seeing as you only use 3 Tenyis, this gets you access to all 3 at in the same turn. So yeah. Then he played the 1 Swordsoul Sacred Summit. This is the reborn for them. This says if you can target 1 Swordsoul monster in your graveyard, or if you control a synchro monster, you can target 1 worm monster instead. So this can bring back Baron. You can special summon it. If this card is banished, you can target 1 Swordsoul monster or worm. This also does the level manipulation as well. But key to note, if you control a synchro, you can reborn cards like Baron or any other worm monster that you use in the extra deck. He played the 1 Heavenly Dragon Circle. This allows them to dodge cards like Imperm, Vela, and that sort of stuff, because it tributes a worm, that's the cost, to add 1 worm from your deck to your hand. Or if you tributed a non-effect monster to activate this card, you can special summon the monster that you chose to add instead, but you have to negate its effect. During the main phase, if you control a face-up non-effect monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard and add 1 Tenyi card from your deck to your hand. So it's like a pseudo +1. It probably just is a +1, but yeah. Then he ran the 1 Harpies for the stuff, because I mean, there was some interesting deck choices in this tournament, and sometimes Mystic Mind can pop up and you don't want to be caught without like main deck outs, right? So he opted to play the 1 Harpies for the Duster. We are seeing 3 Imperms. Yeah, I think every deck list is playing 3 of this card right now. And for the final trap, he's playing the 1 Blockout. Target 1 worm you control and 2 cards your opponent control, destroy them. If this card is banished, you can special summon 1 Swordsoul token. While that token is in the monster zone, the player who summoned it cannot special summon from the extra deck except synchro summon monsters. Except synchro monsters. Mostly 99.9% of this deck is just synchro summoning, so that's completely fine. To the extra deck, he opted to play the big one here. This is Swordsoul, Supreme Sovereign, Tenyi. Most of these names just sound like Shenyang to me, and I'm sorry. For each banish card, this card gains 100 attack and defense, and monsters your opponent controls lose 100 attack and defense. So it's kind of like the Sky Striker Shizuku, but except it also pumps itself by 100. So it's like Shizuku and Kagari in one. If this card would be destroyed by battle, if this card would be destroyed by card effect, my apologies, you can banish one card from your graveyard instead. So this is how you banish the Tenyi cards, or the Swordsoul cards for the level manipulation and all of that. If a card is banished except during the damage step, you can banish one card from from both your opponent's field and graveyard. So you're banishing two cards just by keeping this alive should it be destroyed by card effect. Yeah, you can only use this effect of Swordsoul Supreme Sovereign once per turn, so the banish is only once per turn. The Baron, because yeah, it's just Baron. Once per turn, you can target one card on the field and destroy it. Once while face up on the field, when a card or effect is activated, this is a quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do destroy that card, you can only use the previous effect of Baron the Flare once per turn. Once per turn, during the standby phase, you can target one level 9 or lower monster in your graveyard, return this card to the extra deck, and if you do special summon that monster, so you can get like your Tenyi monsters or your Swordsoul monsters back with this, or if you want to get spicy with it, you can get Scythe. Yeah, because that's still a card, Konami. Yeah, you can special summon it and return this card to the extra deck, and if you do special summon that monster, I guess they put this clause into the card because it negates once while face up. So whatever it uses that negate, that's the end of that, so it can recycle itself to just keep having its negate. And it's a 3k body. Like, at one point you used to think that level 10 syncers would be hard to call. That shit is easy, like Sunday morning. He played the one Dragite because you do play water monsters in this deck. Of course, you will never resolve the bounce effect because there are no rock monsters in this deck, but it's mostly for the spell and trap negate. The Draco Berserker of the Tenyi. When your opponent activates a monster effect, you can simply banish it. If this attacking card destroys an effect monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, this card would gain attack equal to the destroyed monster's original attack. Also, it can make a second attack on a monster during this battle phase. So, something to note, this does not gain the attack until the end of the turn, it gains the attack forever. That's not what I'm seeing here. Yeah, it gains the attack forever, so something to note. So a 3k body can go to something like a behemoth pretty quickly if it's not kept in check. He ran the one Swordsoul Sinister Sovereign. This is Kizing Longyan. So this is Big Longyan. If you synchro summon another worm monster while this monster is on the field, you can draw one card. So you sync this, and then any other worm monster that comes onto the board, you get to draw a card. This is not once per turn, by the way, so if you synchro 2 worm monsters while this is on the field, you can draw for as many times as you synchro summon another worm. If your opponent special summons a monster except during the damage step, you can banish one of those monsters, and if you do, you inflict 1200 damage to your opponent. Also, when your opponent activates a spell, trap, or effect, so a spell card, a trap card, or the effect of a spell card or a trap card, you can banish that card, and if you do, inflict 1200 damage to your opponent. So this does not negate, but it will be burning the shit out of you. So effectively, this card by itself will do about 2400 damage. before inflicted 2900 damage. I think I'm starting to see why this was a good pick for the tournament. Yeah, and then the two walk-in imperms. So Grandmaster Chichao. This card is synchro summoned. You can add to your hand or banish one Swordsoul card from your deck. You can banish one Swordsoul card or one worm monster from your hand or graveyard. So this does not only banish from the graveyard, then you can target one other effect monster on the field, negate its effects until the end of his turn. So this doesn't care about chain blocking, it's just going to say fuck you there. So yeah, he ran two of this. He ran two bucks, yeah. This card says when this is synchro summon, you can target cards on the field up to the number of different original attributes of the worm monsters used for the synchro summon of this card. Shuffle them into the deck. Once per turn, you can target one card you control and one level 4 monster, level 4 or lower monster in your graveyard. Level 4 or lower monster does not state worm. Destroy the card on the field, and if you do, special summon that monster from the graveyard. Very important to note that it does not say worm. So we played two of that, and then we played the one Yazi. Of course, have to play Yazi. Yazi is just Yazi. Your opponent cannot target this card on the field with card effects. So you can't imperm, you can't Vela, you cannot Ghost Mourner, none of that shit. You can target one Yang monster you control and one card your opponent controls, and you can destroy them. When this card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to your graveyard, so even if it dies by its own card effect, you can special summon one more monster from your deck in defense position. So you can just keep comboing. You can sink into this card, use it to get rid of a problem like a backer or anything like that, and then you can just use its effect to special summon another extend and then just keep playing from there. Then we have the last synchro. This is Chao Feng. While this synchro summon card is on the field, synchro summon, because there are a lot of ways to special summon this card back to the field, but as long as the synchro summon card is on the field, always need to take note of that. Your opponent cannot activate effects of monsters with the same original attribute or attributes as the Yang monsters used for the synchro summon of this card. When this synchro summon card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can add one tuner from your deck to your hand. Once per turn, when a monster your opponent controls is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon one worm monster from your deck in defense position whose original attribute matches the original attribute that one of those destroyed monsters on the field. So in layman's terms, you attack a dark, you special a dark Yang from your deck. Sorry, a dark worm monster from your deck. And so on and so forth. Also when this synchro summon card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can add one tuner from your deck to your hand. So I'm guessing this is a way that he used to get to his Ghost guys, or just his Swordsoul cards, or his Adhara in general. But yeah, that's going to be it for the synchros. We played 3 Monk of the Tenyi, because this allows you to use your Tenyi's other graveyard effects. So why would you not play this? You don't do any more link summoning in this deck anyways. And then he's playing the 1 Shaman of the Tenyi. So as you can discard this, you can discard 1 card, then target 1 more monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Also, for the rest of this turn, you cannot activate the effects of the special summoned from the monsters special summoned from the extra deck, except Tenyi monsters. Okay, so you're not calling anything Swordsoul after you use this effect, because you won't have an effect of it. When an attack is declared involving your face-up non-effect monster, you can target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it. So basically you declare an attack with a token, or your monk, and then you trigger this, you probably destroy the target and then go directly, or whatever it is that you want, because this card targets cards, not just monsters. So it can destroy monsters as well. That's going to be it for the extra deck. For the side deck, he's playing the 1DD Crow. I do not fully understand this choice. I mean, he does play Crossout, but I don't think I don't think DD Crow affects Swordsoul too much, but I could be wrong. I do not know this deck so well. He's playing the 2 Ash, 2 Nibiru, 2 Lightning Storm, 2 Crossouts. I'm not actually clicking on these cards because, to be honest, I think everybody should know what these cards are and what they do. But he's playing the 1 Lightning Storm. Lightning Storm allows you, once you have no face-up cards, you can destroy either all your opponent's spell and traps, or you can destroy all face-up attack position monsters. He's playing the 3rd Triple Tactic Talents on the side, and 2 Crossout for the hand traps. No Keeley, this can come up with cards like Harpy's Feather Vesta, Droplet, any card in his damn deck that his opponent uses, he can simply cross out that to allow his plays to go through. The 2 Twin Twisters, more back row hate. To be honest, Yu-Gi-Oh players in general don't really like playing against back row decks, but some players seem to love playing those decks. Evenly Match, Board Breaker, Anti-Spell, 2 Anti-Spells. Dark Rulers are thinking this better. So I'm guessing when you make your board and you set up a certain way to like ensure that your opponent doesn't have the easiest time breaking your board, this is another way to ensure that, okay, you cannot just activate 1 card and then my entire board is shut down. You actually have to play the game. So that was what that was about. I'm going to say this is a very interesting list. It's 42 cards. I'm not going to lie, I was completely shocked at the 3 Ogres. And funny enough, they won him the finals because he opened all 3 in game 3 versus Flounderies. And that just means there is no map that is resolving. There is no unexplored winds that's resolving, or none of that shit. Anything we don't want on the board, it's not resolving unless it's chain blocked properly. But yeah, that shook me. But all in all, it's a solid deck list, to be honest. I don't know what changes I'd make myself because, like I said, I don't understand this deck. I've never played the deck. I played against it, so I understand enough how to play against it, but to like play it, I guess I don't have that knowledge yet. But yeah, that's going to be it for the deck list here. Just want to shout out to the mobile community. Shout out Piggy, Anthony Taylor, the whole mobile Yu-Gi-Oh community, whole Kingston Yu-Gi-Oh community, Spanish Town, all over, all the man, everybody that plays this beautiful game. Big up, and it was a great event. I personally cannot wait to attend more events and just hang out and enjoy the game that I love with my friends. As usual, guys, you know what to do. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, peace.